Hey everyone, I'm Alice. Thanks so much for joining for this Yoga for Runners sequence. So this isn't just a bunch of static holds. We will be holding some of them for sure, but I've made it into a little bit of a fluid flow as well, just to add in an element of fun, some balance, a few challenges, see where it takes us. First of all, congrats on doing the run. You're a hero. But let's just make sure that you can walk tomorrow. So we're going to stretch out the sides of the body and the fronts and the backs of the thighs for sure. Have fun. You're going to start standing up towards the back end of the mat. You don't have to have a mat. It's not 100% a requirement, but if you do, come towards the back of it. We're going to work into a little bit of a balance. So shake out any tension that you're holding on to. Grab your breath. Take a moment. Big inhale through the nose. Big sigh out through the mouth. Get that blood back. Get the breath back. And you're going to start to shift the weight onto your left leg and slide your right foot out in front of you. I want you to rotate the ankle, point the foot, flex the foot, work into the whole sole of the foot and the mobility of the ankle and all the toes. There are 26.2 bones that you have in your foot, each of them. So there's a lot going on. And the thing is, the ankle is the mobile part of our body. It's a mobile joint. And because we shove them into shoes and trainers and everything else, sometimes that mobility gets a little bit stunted over a while. Then I want you to slide your right leg out behind you. You might want to bend the supporting knee just to help you find your balance here. And if you can, left hand is going to try and grab the right foot. Squeeze your bum. Try and straighten up your standing legs. Squeeze, tilt the tailbone slightly downward and under to almost push your hips very subtly forward, working into the front of the right thigh. Shoulders back, big breath in. Exhale, let go of the foot and then slide your right leg out in front of you. We're going to work into a bit of balancing here. You're going to cross your right foot and ankle on top of your left thigh, and we work into standing pigeon. So this is a great one. That's a TFL, the piriformis, the glute medius around the sides of the glutes. Bend the left knee, the standing knee, and flex this foot like crazy. Flex the right foot. And you kind of want to imagine that you're sitting into a chair right now. And you'll probably get to a point where, boom, you can't really go any further. You're trying to hinge from your hips. Spread the toes. You might want to bring your hands physically on the foot and on the knee. And encourage that sole of the foot to stay really active for me. Tilt the tailbone back. Imagine you're trying to twerk. Tilt the tailbone back and slide your chest slightly forward. Till you get to that really satisfying point in the right side of your hip. And it's okay if you wobble. It's okay if you fall. Now you're going to try and keep this hinge at your hips, this really great, long, strong spine. And you're going to remove this right ankle and kick it out in front of you. Press the right heel into the floor. Continue to encourage your butt to go back. Bend the supporting knee. Flex the front foot. And maybe your hands can reach towards the toes. They don't have to grab them. You don't need to ever touch the toes to be able to do some yoga. But if you can hook your P-spank fingers around the toes, then do so, as it gives you a little bit of momentum to then shine your chest forward and maybe get even further. One more breath in where you are. Exhale, lower the right toes down. Shift the weight onto your front foot. And we're going to take everything to the other side. Slide your left leg out in front of you. Rotate the ankle. Wiggle the toes. Flex the foot. Point the toes. And you know what? It is okay. If you feel that you're wobbling all over the place, like I said, there are 26.2 bones, like how many miles there are in a marathon. In each foot, there is a lot going on. Slide this left leg back behind you. Point the toes. Try and catch the left foot with your right hand. And if you need to have your hand onto something, then that's fine. Squeeze the thighs together, tilt the tailbone down slightly, and push the hips ever so slightly forward. One more breath in here. Exhale, let go of the foot. Swing your left foot forward. So bend in the knees is good here. Then cross your left foot and ankle on top of your right thigh. Bend the right knee. Push the bum back. Tip. Hinge from the hips. Hands can stay together, or hands can be around the foot and the knee. Hold the body. And imagine you're sitting into this chair and you want to work into this left hip crease right here. You're going to try and stay hinging at the hips and move this left foot out in front of you. Press the heel bone into the floor. Tilt the tailbone back. This is what's going to get into your hamstring. Reach the fingertips down towards the toes. So you want to stay true to your spine. Stay true to the spine. So you don't want to try and touch the toes, and as a result, you round the back. Tilt the tailbone back. Work into your hamstrings. If you can, hook the left piece fingers around your left big toe and pull against it, then go for it. Give me one more breath in. Exhale, everyone. Lower the left foot completely on the floor. And come up to standing. Bring your feet together. Inhale, reach the arms up over the head and give your legs a little bit of a wiggle. Now, as we go to a forward fold here, you're again hinging from the hips. There's a slight bend in the knees. Anyone that's used to deadlifting, it's a deadlift stance. I want you to bring your hands all the way towards your bum. So you make a 90-degree angle with your spine and your legs. And you're going to start to walk your hands down your thighs. Really hold the muscles. Feel your hamstrings. Walk it down the knees. Little bend in the knees. And then continue to walk your hands down as far as you can take them. And the belly will start to drop. You're leading from the crown of the head and the nose. And you're holding the backs of your legs so that you can still pull out through the crown of the head. Weight is a little bit further back in the heels. And you stay wherever you're comfortable to stay. If eventually you are all the way down and you want to soften the ribs and soften the head and the shoulders, then do so. One more breath in where you are. Exhale, bend your knees. Everyone, bring your hands to the floor. You're going to step your left foot back behind you. Come up onto your fingertips into this lunge and lower your left knee, your back knee to the floor. You're going to start to walk your hands up towards your front knee, or if you have a brick or a prop hanging about, then bring it with you if you need that prop underneath your fingertips or anywhere else. Now you're going to be really upright, head above the shoulders, shoulders above the hips, hips above the back knee. And can you tuck the tailbone, again, under, and tilt it under and press the hips slightly forward. That's what's going to get into your quadriceps, into the front of the thigh. Take a big breath in here. This can be quite a lot. And then exhale, relax the pelvis. And start to slide ever so slightly forward. I want your back toes to stay tucked as a way to massage the sole of the feet again. And you can start to pulse very, very gently, not aggressively. And we're going to take a very juicy side tilt. Right forearm goes onto your right thigh, just as mine is. And your left arm is going to tilt all the way up, over the head, and very slightly over to the right. You don't have to do very much here. And this will get you into your psoas, into your hip flexors, down the quads. Exhale, slowly bring your left hand back down. Inhale, everyone, scoop the arms up over the head. Keep the back toes tucked. Interlace your fingers and point the index fingers up towards the sky. You're going to start to shift your bum in the direction of your back heel and flex the front foot. Strong balancing pose here. Flex the right foot. Now, interlace your fingers and place your hands behind the head. Push the head into your hands and pull the lower ribs in. You're going to slowly tip forward. My leg is shaking here because I can feel the tension releasing. You're going to tip forward only a few inches or as far as you can feel that you can hold. Push the head into your hands. If you need to bend your front knee, that's fine, but keep your front foot flexed. We're going to work into a twist here. I want you to keep your right hand behind your head. And you're going to bring your left hand either onto a brick if you're using a prop, or if you don't feel that you need a prop, you can bring your left hand straight down to the floor. Then, keeping your toes, your right toes looking straight up towards the sky still, You're going to open the right elbow towards the right and rotate across the ribs, adding in a twist here. And this will work into the side of the leg, the IT band, that big, thick connective tissue that runs down the side of the leg. Take an inhale where you are. Exhale, untwist, look at the front leg. Lower the right hand. Slowly bend the front knee and lower the front toes down back into this same lunge with the back knee on the floor. We're going to come into a pose we call lizard pose. If you have a brick, you might want to bring your brick next to the front foot, and you can lower your forearms perhaps onto the brick. Maybe your forearms can come straight to the floor. If you aren't at the forearm level yet, hands down to the inside of your front leg. And you're welcome to turn the right toes ever so slightly outwards to work into external rotation of your front leg. Lift the chest forward. Or those of you down in your lizards, bricks or no bricks, stay breathing with me. Your option here is to lift the back knee. And then exhale, lower the back knee. And work that. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, we lower. And if there's a bit of movement here, like a rock from side to side, or a rock forward and back, then invite it in. Now I want you to point the back foot. Press the back of the foot into the floor, and everyone walk your hands back up. And you're going to start to sit your bum onto your back heel. Slide your hands back, and we're going to work into a deep forward fold. So you're sitting on your left heel. Hands come onto the floor. Start to hinge forward and walk your fingers a little bit further forward with you as well. Now you can stay more upright, or you can go all the way down. It's completely up to you. And this is a great opportunity. Because you're sat on your heel here, you're a little bit elevated, so you're probably a bit closer to your foot. Touch the toes. Flex the foot. Move the connective tissue in the foot, the plantar fascia. One more breath in where you are. Exhale. Bend the front knee, lower the toes down, walk the hands forward, and I want you to lift your right leg up into a three-legged dog. So like you're pressing into a down dog, but your right leg is high, and you give it a good old wiggle. Give it a little shake. Exhale, lower the right foot down, downward facing dog. Pedal out your heels, one at a time. And then step your left foot through between your hands. Maybe you need to take a couple of steps to bring it forward. Come up onto your fingertips and lower your back knee to the floor. And then you're going to start to walk your hands back. Keep the back toes tucked. Walk your hands up onto your front leg, or use a brick if you want to. So remember, for this first section, head above the shoulders, shoulders above the hips, and the hips above the back knee. Then tuck the tailbone under. You can even palpate your own body here. Tuck the tailbone under. Work it into that back thigh. And then you can relax the pelvis and start to shift forward and shift back. And we're going to go into that side tilt. Your left forearm rests on your left thigh. Right arm lifts up over the head. And you tilt very subtly over to the left. And this will get your psoas, your iliacus, which is one of the major hip bones, sort of round the side. I like to call it the elephant's ear of your hips. Exhale, slowly release. Circle the arms all the way up over the head, interlace the fingers, point the index fingers towards the sky, breathe in. Start to shift the bum back in the direction of your right heel. Flex the left foot. Little bend in the knee if you need to. There's no harm in a bend in the knee, trust me. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Push the head into your hands. Flex the front foot, spread the toes, and you hinge from the hips, tip forward. And you only go as far forward as you feel that you can hold. And it's as if your bum is still trying to sit into that chair. Doesn't quite reach that chair, so it's got to hold it. And we're going to go for a twist. Left hand stays behind the head. Right hand can either go onto that brick or straight to the floor. Then rotate. Left elbow points straight up towards the sky. And there's so much satisfaction in pushing the head back into the hand, and you get into the armpit. Exhale, untwist. Walk your left hand down onto the floor, and we're going to go for our lizard pose. Plant the left toes down, bend the front knee, and you either bring both of your hands to the inside of your front foot, turn the left toes out very slightly, or you bring a brick with you. Forearms down, or forearms all the way down to the floor. Up to you. What do you need today? It may be different on this side. Keep the back toes tucked and the back knee on the floor. Start to shift perhaps the weight forward and back or side to side if you want to add in some movement. Movement is good. Moves the connective tissue. Feel free to lift the right knee off the floor. Breathe in. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, lift it. Exhale, lower it. Walk your hands back up. Point the right toes, the back toes, and you're going to start to walk your bum back onto that right heel completely. Flex the left foot. Sit up upright as you can. And then start to walk your hands forward. And you can lower the head down. You can kiss that shin if you want. You can hold the foot and massage the sole of the foot. Or you stay upright. Where do you need to be? Slowly start to lift the head back up. You're going to plant the left toes back on the floor. Bend the front knee, crawl the hands forward. Tuck the right toes. And slide your left leg up into three-legged dog. Give your left leg a little bit of a wiggle. Shake it out. Lower the left toes down. Pedal out your heels one at a time. Bend your knees. Inhale, ripple forward. Give me a high plank just to articulate your spine. Squeeze your bum. And then exhale, soften the knees, tilt the tailbone back up towards the sky. You're going to bring one knee forward, followed by the other. Cross at the ankles. Sit down on your bum, or just come down a different way, and that's okay. And then you lower down onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. So when you hug your legs into your chest, I actually want your heels to hug closer towards your bum. And open your thighs out wide. Send your arms through the insides of your legs to grab hold of your ankles. Hold the ankles and press your forearms against your inner thighs. In this position, I want the back of the head, your shoulders, and the base of the spine to stay down. And gently rock from side to side. Come back into your breath. You've done all the hard work. But remember to stretch out your body, to move it, to allow the breath to come into your body. We'll take it into a little twist to finish. You're going to plant your feet about as wide as the mat. Open the arms out wide. Cross your right foot and ankle on top of your left thigh. And then with that same leg variation, drop both of your legs to the right. Now the foot is just resting on the thigh. It's not pushing the knee down. But what we have here is we've got internal rotation of the left thigh. And it's this broadening of the base of the spine. keeping the arms wide, taking in more just by bringing the shoulders on the floor, and breathe down into your belly. And then slowly bring yourself back up to center. Switch to the other side. Right foot goes to the edge of the mat. Cross your left foot and ankle on top of your right thigh. Flex the left foot and drop the knees to the left. Arms wide open. Slowly bring it back up to center. And to take a minute to rest, I want you to take both of your feet out as wide as the mat. Rest the arms by your sides, and then rest the knees in to touch. So you turn the thighs in, your feet are wide, and you can have your hands on your belly or your hips. Close the eyes, take a big breath in through the nose, and a big sigh out through the mouth. This is a really nice position, especially if you struggle with any sciatic-like pain or any issues in the hip or the lower back. This is a lovely position to come into. We're internally rotating the hips and the thighs. They're so often the other way. To give a bit of space to the base of the spine and the lumbar spine. And then you can start to wiggle the fingers and the toes. And you can walk the heels and the toes back in, closer to one another. You can drop over to one side, or you can squeeze the knees in and rock all the way up. Find a seat that works for you. Doesn't have to be cross-legged, it can be kneeling. You can still be lying down if you prefer. And just take a moment to roll out the shoulders, roll out the neck and the head. And take a final big breath in. And a big breath out. Thank you for joining. Well done, you. Thanks for stretching it out with me, wiggling it around with me. You guys are amazing. As always, please like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends. I really appreciate it. Keep running, keep stretching. Namaste.